Due to the apparent death of a Forsaken member, the conclusion of The Wheel of Time Season 3, Episode 6 has potentially significant ramifications. Early in the season, the show revealed that there are 8 Forsaken in Prime Video's adaptation of Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time books, rather than the 13 in the original. Grendel, Ravin, Moghedien, Lanfear, Sammael, Ishamael, Semirhage, and an unidentified character make up the group in the TV series. After 2 seasons of threatening Rand al'Thor and his allies, one of the 8, Ishamael, met his demise. The main cast of The Wheel of Time was apparently challenged by 7 Forsaken after Ishamael's death, with Moghedien and Lanfear being the primary antagonists of Season 3. The 6th episode, however, ultimately put a completely different character in danger. It appears that Lanfear ordered Sammael, the antagonist of a book that has not yet been adapted into the television series, to launch a surprise attack on Rand. The ambush probably proceeded according to Lanfear's plan, but Sammael's did not. Sammael might have perished in an unsuccessful ambush against Rand. In the Forsaken meeting, Sammael expressed interest in pursuing Rand directly, and it appears that his desire was fulfilled. At the beginning of the episode, Lanfear told Moiraine that she was sending Rand something and that she should let him deal with it. Sammael's ambush was obviously the subject of her conversation, as he made his move during Rand's split from Egwene. Rand used the One Power to bring a building down on top of the antagonist. It appeared that the debris had crushed him beneath it. Since there was no body displayed, it is difficult to say with certainty what happened to Sammael. The first impression was that Rand had killed the Forsaken through his epic use of the One Power, and if he had been a mere channeler, there would have been little reason to question his destiny. However, Lanfear's recovery from a fatal wound in Season 2 demonstrates how difficult it is to kill Forsaken. But it's not impossible that Rand has added another Forsaken to his list of victims, if Ishamael is indeed dead. It wouldn't be the first time a main character killed a Forsaken person with ease. The idea that the show wouldn't kill one of the Forsaken that fast would seem plausible on the one hand. They are, after all, the primary antagonists of the series with the exception of the Dark One. However, if the television series is true to the novels, then at least one of the 8 Forsaken might actually suffer such a fate. Indeed, the books tended to end the lives of some Forsaken quickly and without ceremony before they could see any progress. Balt Hamel lost his life in a duel with the Green Man, and Moiraine promptly bail-fired Belal after his introduction. In general, the Wheel of Time's sudden removal of these characters had a purpose. For example, Rand showed his true strength in the Eye of the World by murdering Aegoner, the reincarnation of Luz Therin Telamon, also known as the Dragon. In the series, granting Rand this victory over Sammael would achieve a very similar objective. It's true that Rand needs a victory of that size, particularly considering that he needed assistance to defeat Ishamael in the Wheel of Time Season 2 finale. If Sammael were killed by Wheel of Time, the books would undergo a significant alteration. Although a Forsaken dying so abruptly has happened before, it's important to remember that Sammael isn't your typical Forsaken. The fact that Sammael dies before the events of the Shadow Rising would be one of the biggest surprises in the Dragon Reborn saga because he is far more important than Belal, Aegoner, and Balt Hamel. Sammael is the overbearing antagonist of A Crown of Swords, a Wheel of Time book, in contrast to those 3 characters. One of the 3 plotlines in A Crown of Swords, the 7th book in the series, was about Rand and Min Farshaw's trip to Ilion. Their objective was to overthrow Sammael, who had previously taken over the kingdom. The story's climax was a confrontation between Rand and Sammael at a well-known setting, Shadar Logoth from the Eye of the World. They fought for the titular Crown of Swords, which gives its owner the authority to rule Ilion. It would raise doubts about the show's intentions for the plot that developed in A Crown of Swords if Sammael died. The Wheel of Time series has 14 books, so it is obviously impossible to adapt each one into a full season. For this reason, the show has chosen to skip over the majority of the Dragon Reborn. Sammael's death would suggest that A Crown of Swords is one of the stories the program plans to omit. In that scenario, Rand and Min might not be paired for an adventure at all, let alone anytime soon. Episode 6 of Season 3 of The Wheel of Time may also be explained in relation to Asmodean's function in the Shadow Rising. In the novel, Rand and Asmodean fought each other until Asmodean was captured. Asmodean was then protected and made to teach Rand how to channel the male half of the One Power. Fascinatingly, Asmodean has been alluded to in the Wheel of Time but has not yet been explicitly confirmed. It's possible that Sammael will take Asmodean's place in the Shadow Rising given the timing of his ambush and the fact that he refrained from attacking Rand in that series. Rand had the option of making Sammael, not Asmodean, teach him channeling if he lived through the conflict. As it would fit in nicely with Lanfear's scheme, that would actually make a lot of sense. She wanted Asmodean to teach Rand in the book, which is why she might have sent Sammael after Rand in Season 3 of The Wheel of Time.